Let's keep calm and mother on. Mothering is way too important to do alone and way too serious to be serious all the time. My name is Christy Thomas, and I am here shoulder to shoulder with you, mothering and enjoying life together. This is the podcast where you can focus on being mindful and taking a deep breath with me and learning new things so you can pause and savor the amazing life you already have. Now let's go. Rabbit. It is October 1st, and I am so glad you're here. Yay for October. It is absolutely one of my most favorite months of the year, and not because of my birthday. I just have all these fond memories of crisp fall October days growing up in Michigan. And it's just one of my favorite feelings when the air feels just a little bit cold on your skin, but not too cold, and you can wear corduroys. I loved wearing corduroys. It's been a while since I could, but here we are. It's October. Today I wanted to share with you the podcast that encouraged me. We are in the middle of the Apple of My Eye 10-day encouragement challenge. And as I've been thinking about that, about what it means to be encouraged, I realized that I use podcasts to encourage me, to inspire courage, and to stimulate action, right? That's what encourage means. And I think podcasts for me do a great job of that, of helping me think about my better self and my best self and inspire me to do something about that. I feel like podcasts help develop a relationship with the greater world and more than what I could necessarily have just where I live. Encouragement does such a great job of creating space to help you feel like you belong and that you matter. And when you find a really great podcast, it helps you do those things too. So I want to kick off with the parenting podcast that I love the most. And the first one is a parenting podcast called Peace in Parenting with Michelle Kenny Carlson. And it's about a mom who had a hard time with her kid and had to learn different strategies, right? I found her because she's a hand-in-hand parenting coach. And what that means is that she believes in play and listening and humor, my favorite things that I need reminders about. So the Peace in Parenting podcast is for you if you need help leaning into play. If you haven't checked out the podcast Good Inside by Dr. Becky, you really need to. Dr. Becky, I found during the pandemic on Instagram. She gives really solid advice about how to talk to your kids, especially if your kids are under 13, how to help with transitions, how to deal with your own feelings before you work on that parent-child connection. If you have teenagers, though, you really need to make space for the Ask Lisa podcast. And this is by Lisa Damour. And she's written amazing books like Untangled and Under Pressure, which are about teen girls. She answers the questions that I need answered. Some of her podcast episodes are about vaccinated friends or unvaccinated friends, what to do when your kid goes off to college, should teens be able to drink at home, what do you do if you don't like your kids? I love running, and that helps me feel connected and grounded into my body. The podcast I like about running and motherhood is the Run Lift Mom podcast. And it's ran by an amazing woman named Susie, whose husband was active duty in the Army, and they've just recently retired. She's the mom of 4 kids, and she's honest and real and helps me become a better runner. The podcasts that inspired me to start podcasting are both the Joyful Courage podcast by Casey O'Rourke and the Calm Parenting podcast by Kirk Martin. I've had Kirk on a couple times. I'm going to have Casey on soon, but I wanted to put those out there because those are the podcasts that are like steady in my feed for years and years and years. Now, what if you're not a parent? You're like, okay, this is great, but do you listen to other non-parenting podcasts? And of course, the answer is yes. My favorite non-parenting podcasts are probably like business, leadership, lifestyle ones. So here we go. The lifestyle one is the Best Today podcast by Shante Grant. And she really just helps you put priorities into order. If you need a planner, a playbook about how to get things done, she is your person. She asks you great questions. The episodes are short, around 20 minutes most of the time. And you're going to walk away knowing that you are capable and made for this moment. Another OG lifestyle podcaster that's been in my feed for years is Chalene Johnson. She has two podcasts, the Chalene Johnson official podcast, the Chalene Show, and then also Build Your Tribe if you're trying to build an online business or some sort of platform. The Chalene Show, she talks about her life. She talks about her passions. She talks about caring for her father-in-law with Alzheimer's. There's a lot there. Years and years and years. I found Chalene because of her workout videos through Beachbody that I used to do consistently during nap time before I started running every day. And now I just like to listen to Chalene at least twice a week. I couldn't mention leadership podcasts and not mention the Dare to Lead podcast by Brene Brown. Now, the problem with the Dare to Lead podcast is that it's on Spotify, and all of Brene Brown's podcasts are on Spotify, and I don't listen on Spotify very often. But it's worth checking out, especially if you use Spotify often. A podcast that I listen to completely for fun, their tagline is making happily ever after yours for your ears. It's the Rom-Com Pods, and they have 3 complete stories you can find: Showmance, Vote for Love, and Honeymoon for One. These are not, they're a little bit open door, but not really. I listen to them with the earbuds on. We haven't listened to them in a group setting. But they're fun, especially if you're going to be driving alone or if you've got some cleaning to do. The Rom-Com Pods will make you smile. If you have a podcast that you think I should check out, please let me know. I think podcasts are amazing because they help us feel like we have a group of people. In motherhood, struggles can come from feeling isolated and that whatever we're feeling, we're alone. But podcasts have really helped me realize that whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm dealing with, whatever I'm curious about, I am not alone, and that the world is amazing. And I can have courage and I can try new things. And everything is figure-outable. You've got this. I am so glad you're here. So for today's self-care, right, I want you to try out another podcast. People pour their heart, soul, and energy into these things. And I want you to try out something new. Let me know on Instagram what you do. You can find my Instagram name, Everyday Runner Christy, in the show notes because it's got some weird spaces in it. For family fun, it's time to buy some gourds. If you haven't bought pumpkins or gourds yet, now is October and this is the moment. But it's not the moment for carving them yet. But it is the moment to see what things you can do with pumpkins and gourds. Like, can you throw them in the pool from different heights when they float? How high do you need to stand on a ladder before they crack? Can you turn a pumpkin into a volcano? See, I love doing all these things with my kids because I know at some point they're not going to live here. And it's going to be some crazy memory of them talking to their siblings and saying, do you remember when mom did that? I can't believe we had that mom. It's true, I am inspired by Mr. Rogers and Mary Poppins and Mrs. Frizzle. She was my teaching inspiration. So this might not be for you, but consider if it is. At least the sink float challenge. You just need a bathtub for that. You are amazing. You are exactly the right mom for your kids. I am so glad you're here on earth with me right now. And the next couple of weeks, we have some great interviews lined up. We're going to be talking about kids in sports, talking about why adults are having a hard time raising kids that are nice. And I invite you to email me or send me on Instagram a question you want answered for my birthday episode at the end of this month. Speaking of my birthday, the only thing I want from you guys is for you to leave a rating and review on wherever you listen to podcasts. That would mean the world to me. I'm so proud of you. You are doing amazing things.